We're going to be talking about shifting from an employee to a asset mindset. This is going to really change the way that you think about yourself at work and also your expertise. So my name is Alicia Perkins, and I help mid-level professionals advance in their career. But I definitely want to go ahead and talk a little bit today about helping you to shift from that employee mindset versus being an actual asset mindset. And the reason I want to talk about this is because it's going to be really, really crucial for you guys, especially if you want to make more money in your career, if you want to be able to make more impact in your career, if you want to advance in your career. It's really going to take this mind shift of you being able to move away from I'm just somebody who works here, other than somebody that brings true value. I want to go over the mindset of what this actually looks like. When you think about an employee mindset, and this is just one side of it, they can tend to think, I hope they see what it is that I do and they will allow me to have the raise or the advancement when they think I should have it. Now, when you have an asset mindset, it's more about you not sitting around waiting for something to happen, but it's more about you putting yourself in a position for something. And so when you think about an employee mindset, this is the person that just kind of hops up every day, shows up to work and be like, okay, what you want me to do? This is that employee mindset. When you're talking about the asset mindset, you're talking about somebody who knows what they need to do, who understands that when I show up to work, I'm here, right? Not just to do tasks, I'm here to bring forth results. Now, this is the thing. When you have somebody that is an employee versus somebody that's an asset, they both can bring forth results. But you got to think about the state of mind, right? Because I know people, right? Even some of the clients, when they first come to me, they are in that employee mindset. Like, girl, I'm just here so I can do my job and go. And this live stream is not to train you to be some kind of workhorse. No, this live stream is not to have you stirred up to just go to work and do more work. This live stream is here to teach you how to be able to position yourself for success. And I always say this, you showing up at work and doing a good job and you being able to work hard at what you do and bring forth results is more about you than it is about them. I'm gonna say it again. You being able to show up at work, bring forth results and do a good job, right? And bring forth results is more about you than it is about them, right? You can't make this just about them, because if you make what you do at work just about them, it's going to be easier to get this to find yourself being very frustrated. To find yourself with a mindset with I'm done, to find yourself in this mindset of the whole quiet quitting, right? Meaning, if you guys haven't heard that term, this is when folks are getting like fed up at work and they just kind of stop working and they're doing like the bear, just the bear. And so I don't believe in that concept. I think that it hurts you more than it hurts them. And I think it's a very childish way to respond to something that you don't like, right? I feel like that when you are mature, you are able to have the conversations that you need to have, right? To see the changes that you desire to see. And if you have those conversations and they don't end the way that you think that they should, now it's just time to go. Other than you stay in a place that you don't want to actually stay in, and now you come into work mad and you stay in mad 8 to 12 hours a day. That's childish. Okay. Don't anybody have time for that. And that's why when that trend came about, I was like, can we just be adults and have talks and start to come to a conclusion about whether or not we desire to stay here, other than us, show up to work every day mad. So when you're an employee, it's not just about you being able to show up, but it's about you being able to be an actual asset. And this is how you guys have to see this. And having this mindset is going to keep you from being stagnated, right? Because you should be seeing your workplace as like training grounds for the next move that you want to make. You can't just keep on just showing up to work with no mind, with no plan, with no strategy. You're going through the motions of your everyday job, right? And you're not preparing yourself for something else. So, and this is going to help a lot of you guys who maybe don't really like the role that you're in. Hopefully you are starting to take action steps to move away from that. But this is really going to help you when you are in a role that you really don't want to be in, right? Start seeing that as a training ground for my next move, meaning that when you come to work, when you show up, you need to be in a mindset to where you are looking for opportunities to build up your skills for what you want to do next. If you are in a place like, girl, I'm stuck having to just do the same task every day, just every day. There are no opportunities here to really learn. Now you need to start thinking about, are there any relationships that I can build with the people that I work with to prepare me for my next move, right? If you're like, girl, No, it's not that, right? Now it's more about you having to probably lean a little bit more on those soft skills, right? Is there a way that I'm able to strengthen those actual leadership skills here, right? Is there any way that I can really strengthen my soft skills to get me prepared for where I want to be? Because if you are in a role right now that you do not like, and you are in the process of wanting to take actions to move away from that, right? Don't just go to work in this days and just hope that things change, but start to look at that as an opportunity, as how can I take advantage of the environment that I am in now to get me ready for what's next, right? Because what we don't have time to do is sit back and sulk and feel sorry for ourselves, right? Now, it's another thing if you are in a place that you know that you don't want to be in. You have not taken any actions or steps to get more. Yes, you will be frustrated every day. You will be tired. You will feel like there is no hope, right? You will feel like I'm boxed in because you're not taking the action steps that you know that you need to take. And so that's where a lot of that frustration comes from, is that you know that you want better and you're not doing anything about it. But I can tell you this, you can be in a place that you don't necessarily want to be in and still be considered an asset. What tends to happen with most people when they find themselves in a job that they don't like, they automatically shut down, right? They automatically go to the bare. You barely doing your work and you're only hurting yourself, right? I had a client I was talking with the other day, and she is in that same boat. Like, she's ready to go. And so me and her in the process of getting herself done. And so now her next move can be much just, I'm so excited about her. But anyway, she said, Alicia, how do I fight the urge of just, going to work? She said, I don't want to be there. She said, I almost found myself getting just discouraged. I found myself just feeling very, very just almost sad because she does not like to be in her role, right? I told her this. I said, it is very, very important, right? I think that you should acknowledge how you feel, but I also think that it's going to be really important for you to be able to get yourself in the right mindset, right? Do not lean on these emotions that you feel, because when you are getting ready to get into a new role, to find a new job, that is a time that your mindset needs to be at its best. Because what people do not realize is how you leave one job, right? Chances are that is how you will go into your next job. I'm gonna say that again. How you leave one job, meaning the mindset that you are in, is how you will go into that next job. If you are in the middle of a job search, right, and work is overwhelming, you're stressed out, you're frustrated, you found yourself just done, you cannot effectively enter into a job search in the right mindset if you're in that frame of mind. Job searching is stressful enough without you already having this mindset of I'm just discouraged and I'm tired. And when you land that next position, you always want to start off at a 10, right? But if at the role you're at now, you find yourself at a 3 or 4, and now you have landed this amazing opportunity. Now you have this great opportunity. Do you think all of a sudden you just zoop up from a 3 to a 10? No, the mind doesn't work like that. So if you are looking for a new position, you want to be able to start off that position strong, going in with the right mindset, going in full strength, not just barely, trying to crawl out of your last job. And I told her, you are going to have to know how to know what to put your focus on, right? Because you guys, if you don't remember anything else today, remember this: what you focus on is going to control how you feel. So if you at work like, child, I hate this job, it's too much, these people here, if that's all that you want to think about, that's why you feel the way that you feel, right? But if you are like, man, like, I am now in a season of my life where this next move is going to be about me. It is going to be about what I want. I am in the stages of trying to prep for my next move. You're going to feel better because the focus is not on where you are. The focus is on where you're going. And that's going to automatically shift the way that you feel, right? Because it does not take as much as you think it does to change how you feel. Trust me, you guys know we feel 10,000 different emotions a day. At 8:30, you tired. At 10:30, you excited. Girl, I know. At 2:30, you frustrated. At 6:30, you happy again. We know that our emotions are like this all day long. But you got to know that what you focus on is going to help you to control how you feel, right? And so this goes back to the mindset of being an employee and the mindset of you being an actual asset, right? When you are an employee, you say things like, I need to follow the instructions that they give me. When you are an asset, you take initiative and you don't mind going above what is asked of you. I'll say it again because you're like, oh, child, what you trying to do to me? This live stream is not to make you a workhorse. Absolutely not. This mindset, this live stream is to train you on how to show up. And this mindset is going to help you in every area of your life. Now, if you're one that you don't care about how things are at work, if you don't care about the results that you bring forth at work, then this is not the live stream for you. But if you are one that you desire to operate in excellence, not just because I have a desire to be like that at work. No, I operate in excellence in everything that I do because that's who I am. And I'm like that. I go hard in everything. And I'm not going hard to just people please. I go hard because that is just the work ethic that I have. So if you have no desire to bring forth results at work, if you like, girl, all I want to do is just go to work and I'm done, well, this is not the live stream for you, right? And no hard feelings. But if you're one that you really do want to make an impact with your skills, you want to be paid well for your skills, you want to be able to show up in your workplace and gain the respect of the people around you in your field, maybe this is a live stream for you. And I'm going to show you how to do that. An employee is one that's like, look, just, I'm just going to do whatever y'all say do. An asset, you are the one looking for problems to solve. You are the one that are wanting to actually engage in the work that you do, and you take initiative. And this mindset of an asset is even more important as you advance in your role, right? As you move from just an actual doer to one that actually strategizes, right? And this is where the money is in, right? Being able to identify issues and gaps and being able to fill them and solve them. That is where the money is. Not just one that just keeps allowing them to pile on task and task and task, and you're getting so head down in your task that you don't even know how to even see gaps anymore, because all you are is a doer, right? But what makes you an asset in the workplace is when you can be able to identify the issues and the gaps that are there. But this takes a person that is engaged in the work that they do. This takes you having some kind of mind to enjoy what it is that you do. I don't necessarily believe that you got to be passionate about your work, because I know a lot of times that can tend to throw off people. They be like, I'm really not passionate about what I do. Well, people don't realize, and if you are passionate, hey, I think that's great, but you don't have to feel this heart tie to the work that you do to be successful. And I actually believe if people will lean a little bit more on what they do well, they will be able to advance faster rather than you just always trying to find the thing that you just love doing. Now, I do believe, I will say this, there ought to be some kind of fulfillment in your work, but depending on who you are, it is going to be based on what allows you to be fulfilled, because some people be fulfilled when that check hitting right. If my income can match the actual impact, I'm good. I'm fulfilled. I feel very passionate about my work. But some people, right, they're like, okay, I am being paid well, but I do desire to see a little bit more of results with the skill set. That's fine too. There is no wrong or right side. But I think that when it comes to being fulfilled, it's really important for you to be able to identify what makes you feel fulfilled. And so when you're wanting to switch from that employee mindset to that asset, it's about you being able to lean on the problems and the issues that I can solve. And this doesn't have to be as hard as you think it is. It's about you being able to understand the problems that your skill set can solve and the problems that you want to solve as you advance. I'm going to say this again. It's about you being able to identify the problems that your skill set can solve, but also the problems that you desire to solve as you advance. And this is why I say that it is not about them, though they do reap very, very well off of your skills. Who you work for, they are going to reap off of your skills. And there's nothing wrong with that. It becomes wrong when they reap more off of your skills than you do. When you bring forth all the results and the successes for them and you get nothing back. A lot of people they want to be seen as the only one who can do their role. And I think that's the worst thing that you're able to do. And so with that question, that goes back to what I said earlier when I was saying how it's really important for you to not only lean in on the work that you have, but also be able to identify other problems and gaps that need to be filled. But that comes with you mastering your craft. That comes with you being able to lean on those core skills. And that comes from you knowing your field. Because in order to advance, you have to know your field. You have to be able to identify the problems that may not be there now, but will be. But that comes with you being able to lean in on your craft, which does take the mindset of, again, where are these skills going to bring you? Now, another point of that question is, when you want them to be able to see you outside of the roles that you already have, it's going to be really, really important for you, for one, to have conversations, have consistent conversations. For you guys who don't know me, I was in HR for over probably like 6 or 7 years. And then for the last 3 years before I started my full-time business, I did talent management, right? This is what we did. We strictly developed the folks. And so it's going to be really important for you to be able to have conversations. Most of the times, you cannot assume that they know what it is that you want, because sometimes they think like, man, she's doing a really, really great job in this role. So they think that your fulfillment, your excitement comes from you being able to do a good job in your role. But this is why it's up to you to have the conversations and say, hey, I love the work that I do, but there are also other goals that I desire to hit. And there are other areas that I desire to impact with my skills. And this takes you having consistent conversations. And depending on how aggressive you are with the other role that you want, that is going to actually determine how often and how many conversations you need to have with them. So for instance, if you know that there's a role that you want the next year, you need to be having a talk with them every 60 to 90 days to see where they are and see what is the actual growth plan for your role. But most people tend to just have one conversation and they let a whole year go by and then they go, oh, they don't want to know. You have one conversation with them, because if there is a role in the current job that you have and you like, I love here, but I really desire to advance, you need to be able to identify now what are those gaps. Because what people tend to do is they know that there's another role that they want, but they don't prepare themselves for it. So you need to find out if there are any gaps between where you are and the role that you want, and start to work on those gaps and start to let them know you are in the process of having those gaps filled. I tell people the more conversations that you can have about that, it's great, because now you are top of mind. And that is what really allows you to be in a position to where you're able to advance, because you're top of mind, because you have been having talks with them and also allowing yourselves opportunity to operate outside of the job that you do. Now, let me say this. What I'm not saying is to work months and months and years and years and years doing work outside of your job scope and not being paid for it. I'm not saying that. No. Right. But what I am saying is that if you want to take on extra work, it's about being strategic. So if you do know that there are other assignments and tasks that you want to do outside of your scope that is going to highlight you for the next role that you want, I think it's great. Right. But I think you do need to have some kind of timeline of when that, for how long. You don't want to just assume that they know what it is that you do. I'm going to say it again. You don't want to assume that they know what it is that you do or how well that is done. Because at the end of the day, they hired you because your skill set solves a problem for them. So in their mind, as long as it's solved, we're good, right? But it's up to you to be able to be in talks, right? To be able to share the expertise, right? Because that's the thing, the value is not just in the result. The value is in how you got the result and how well you bring forth that result. Because if you have 5 of you guys on the same team and everybody brings forth the same result, but you can bring that result forth in less time, or you can bring forth that result and it costs less funds, that's where your secret sauce is. And it can be really, really hard to know, how am I able to stand out amongst all these people when we all do the same thing? Or it may seem like the result that you bring forth isn't that important, which is not true, because if it wasn't important, they wouldn't have hired somebody to solve that problem. So it is important, right? But it's about you being able to lean in on your secret sauce, for you to be able to lean in on your value proposition, as in, this is just not what I do, but this is how well it's done. And this is how well it's done compared amongst the people that I work with. But you have to be able to be engaged in the work that you do in order to be able to get to become that well known with your expertise. And y'all, this is crucial. You being able to have this understanding. Again, this live stream is not about them. It's about you. When you can get this clear on your understanding of your expertise and how it works, you open the door to so many more opportunities, right? You open the door to be able to impact so much well with your skills, and you open the door to be able to make a change in your career whenever you want to, because you're so well in tune with your expertise that you know that you can make a change anywhere you want to. But people tend to feel stuck because they don't know their expertise. They just know the task they do. So now when they are looking for a new job, it's no longer what is the next room or the next space that I can share my expertise. Now they go, okay, let me find a job description that has the same exact task that I did at my last job. Friend, you are keeping yourself from money, and you are keeping yourself from so many opportunities because you don't know the impact of your skills, right? You do not know the impact of your skills. And so the one thing about understanding your expertise and the impact that you make, you can bring that anywhere. You know how to align that with a lot more opportunities. You know how to talk about what you do. And so now when you have to go into a job interview, it's normal to have some nerves, right? It's normal. If you in there, your heart beating fast and you sweating and you can't remember nothing, no ma'am. That shows me that there is a lack of knowledge of your expertise, or you don't understand the problems that they need solved, right? But when you start to make that switch and you start to really lean in on what your expertise is, now you can have conversations about it. And it doesn't overwhelm you, right? Because it's something that you know so well. Like me. Like, I can talk about stuff like this with you guys. Like I can literally hop on a live stream with hundreds of you guys and I'm not nervous because I know my stuff. I can hop on a live stream with complete strangers and you guys ask me all kinds of stuff all the time. I don't know what you guys will say or I don't know. But because I know my stuff, hey, bring it on. But if there ever is a time when you guys, there's something that you want to know and I don't know it, that doesn't take anything from me. Because I know the value that I have, and this is going to help you in your workplace. You won't find yourself having to compare yourself amongst everybody else because you know the value that you bring. And when you understand the value that you bring, there's no more competition. It's just strictly collaboration. But people feel the need to have to compete with the people that they work for or work with because they don't know their value. They always are in this mode of a threat because they just not sure. But I have opportunities where I've done podcasts with other people in my field. I've done live streams with other people in my field. I don't feel threatened. I love doing stuff like that because I know that, okay, we both help people either land a job or advance, but I do it in a way that you don't do it. And you do it in a way that I don't do it. And I know that the same way that there is an audience for you, there's an audience for me. And this is the same way the mindset that you guys can even take, understanding that you're not for everybody. You're not for everybody. And that's okay. And the more you get to know your expertise and your skill set and the impact that you make and the results that you can bring forth, you don't want to be for everybody. So as you're going through your job search, it's no longer about who's going to pick me. Now it's about who do I want to serve? Who is it that I want to serve with my expertise? A lot of times, too many times, they have people that have to operate in a role that they were not trained for, right? And I tell people in those times, that is a time to be in a mindset of, I got to do what's best for me, right? Not saying to quit. I'm saying is that this is when you've got to really lean in on getting those skills built. And what's going to really help you is also, like I was saying earlier, to lean in on what could be next for you. Because, and it's not just for you, it's for everybody. If you can lean in on, that's why I believe clarity in your career, oh my God, can save you so much time when you're clear. You don't always have to be crystal clear, but if you at least know the direction that you're going into, you will be so much more strategic. You'll be so much more purposeful at work because you understand everything that I'm doing is building on something and it's moving me towards something. And so that's how you go from that employee mindset to an asset mindset to where you're not just randomly doing things. And people just randomly operate their careers and they expect this great success. Success in your career does not happen by chance. You may have moments of success, right? But to have a successful career path takes you being clear on what you want and what's next for you. And I say this all the time. If you do not know what you want, lean in on what you don't want. Because as you lean in on what you don't want, you will move away from that and you will eventually run into what you do. So if you're not clear on what you want, get clear on what you don't want and why, right? And so when you can be clear and really start to move with strategy, you save yourself so much time because now you are not being able to just sit around and hope things go well. But now it's going to be easy for you to be able to identify when something is not a good fit, when it is not being able to move you in the right way. You're able to really, really, really get clear on that. And it can save you so much time. Like for instance, this is just an example. Well, I have not went to the actual grocery store in like so long because I have this app that I use and the food is in here. Love it. And one of the things that I love about this app, y'all, is that it saves me so much money, right? Because how many of y'all will go to the grocery store and child, you supposed to go in there with some eggs and bread and milk, and you walk out with $200 worth of snacks. Because I got distracted. I just got distracted. I knew I was not supposed to be getting all that. But that's how it is in your career, right? When you just kind of this La 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 la. You're going down the aisles. You just kind of, oh, let me see. Should I get this? Should I get that? Should I get this? You just kind of la la la. Child, you gonna end up with a $400 bill once you go to checkout because you just throwing stuff in the basket. But once you sit in that car, you say, okay, I'm getting meat. You have a list. It's shipped, SHIPT, shipped. And it's the service. It's like $100 a year, which I feel like is super cheap. It saves me gas, saves me time. But you just in that car, okay, Alicia. I don't know about y'all, but when I go in the store, I have to have talks with myself. Okay, look, we going in here for these items, and that's it, nothing else. But you walk into that store, and you know, okay, I'm in here for this and this and this and this and this. And now you're able to go and get what you want, and you out. And you did not waste money or time. That's how it is with your job. That's how it is in your career. That's why it's important for you to set expectations on why you even want this job. For what? Because when you go in there with a clear mindset of, I am in here for this only. When you start that job, you know, I'm not in here for foolishness. I'm not in here for mess. I'm here to learn X, Y, and Z skills because this is the role that I want within the next 2 years. You in there. So you know that every day I show up to work, I need to be being exposed in some way to that role that I want. So I'm going to start to build relationships with people that already work in that position. I'm going to start having conversations because I know that this is the role that I really want. And I want it within the next year and a half. So now when you show up to work, you are more intentional. You don't have time to sit back and just gossip with everybody else because you know why you're there. You realize I don't have time to sit up here and shut down and not talk to nobody and act stank because I know that I want a leadership position, right? So they need to be able to trust me and know me and like me because they're not going to advance anybody into a lead role that they don't know. So I know that I need to be maybe setting up some lunch dates so I can start to know the people that I work with other than you just at work and you don't want to talk to nobody. They're not going to promote you if they don't know you. How do you expect for them to advance you? You expect them to have you lead their team. You expect them to have you to pay you more money and they don't even know you. But if you know that this is the reason why I'm here and these are the things that I want and this is the time length that I work, that I want these things in, baby, you is intentional. I don't have time to sit by the whole water cooler and make small talk because I know why I'm here. And if you become super intentional, what you thought would take a year and a half could take you 9 months because you are intentional, right? You can control how fast you advance or not. That's on you. And a lot of times you might feel like, well, I haven't got the opportunities to advance. You have not positioned yourself to advance. And that is what I call entitlement. You think just because you want something, it just gonna fall on you. We will literally teach this to our kids. If you want something, maybe you gotta work for it. But when it comes to your career, you got to be sure that you're working towards the right thing. Because a lot of you don't mind overworking yourself. You don't mind. But you overworking yourself, but you're not having no conversations, right? You find yourself doing all the work, but you're not talking to who you need to talk to. You find yourself doing all the work and you're overworking yourself in work that is in the opposite direction of where you want to go. You're working backwards. Other than starting to expose yourself or starting to work in the work that is going to prepare you for your next position. This is what I mean. I talk about putting yourself in a position to where you can advance. Now, there are some environments that they will try to hold you back, right? I'm not going to say that every work environment is fair. Please, yeah, I worked in HR for over 10 years. Child, I can tell you some stories, right? And this is why I do what I do, because I want to prepare you guys and I want to show you guys how to win. Because if you are in corporate, there is a game to play. People don't like to say that. Ooh, it sounds so horrible and sounds so bad. But there is a game. There is a system at play. I'm not saying the system is bad, right? I'm not saying that you got to lie, cheat, and steal and kill. That's not what I'm saying. Right? But there is a way to advance. And this is why I do what I do, because I want to be able to show you guys how to win, not how to make them win, because you guys are experts at making them successful. But I want to make you an expert at making yourself successful. What I want you guys to start doing, start looking at, am I putting myself in a position to advance? And that's going to take you knowing, what do you want to advance to? That's going to take you being a little bit more aggressive than you are. That is going to take you not waiting on your actual annual talk, with your boss, but that's going to take you being able to seek out feedback on a regular basis because you're like, I'm on my way somewhere. I don't have time to sit hope and hope things go well. And what could probably stir a lot of you guys up is if you get goals outside of your job. And that was a word. If you can get goals outside of your work, that's going to make you more that you need. Your company's goals is not your goals. Absolutely not. Right? You help them accomplish your goals, and hopefully in return they help you accomplish your goals, right? But it's two separate things. But once you start to get some life goals, you're like, man, I got a house I want to buy. I have a house or a car, anything. You want to have a child, whatever. Or I have kids at an age where I really want to spend more time with them. When you start getting some life goals and you start to strive after that, you're not going to have time to play with these people on these jobs. You won't have time to sit back and say, oh, okay, this is my third time and I asked for a raise and I still haven't gotten nothing. You like, child, I have goals in my life that I need to hit. And if y'all can't help me hit them, nothing personal. And so when you make this more about your life than a job, then you'll get that oomph you need. You won't find yourself going, I know I need to do something better. I know something got to change. You've been saying that for 2 years now. Because again, it can't just be about them student loans. And when you start realizing, like, man, I got goals I want to hit. I got debt that's been there for too long. I don't have time to be trying to wait for them to see the value that I bring. You don't have time for that. I mean, you guys do know that eventually you will die one day, right? And this is not to try to bring the live stream down. I pray this is a reality for all of us. So if you think time is just going to go on and on and on and on and on, look at COVID. We've been in COVID for over 3.5 years. Think about the goals that you could have hit in COVID if you would have just got focused and got rid of the excuses. And this is tough love. And as I always say, if you are extra sensitive, my live streams are not for you. But this is tough love, right? Because I want the best for you, but you gotta want that. You have to become aggressive about being able to hit those goals in your life and leave the excuses alone. Because it comes to the point where you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you look around and everybody else is being able to hit their goals and do this and this and that. And you're with this, oh, I'm so sad. No, there's nothing wrong with you. The only thing that's wrong with you is that you won't take action. It doesn't have to be, the action doesn't have to be huge either. For a lot of you guys, the first action needs to be that you deserve the things that you want. The first action is you being able to even believe that you can have what you want, because you will never pursue something that you don't believe that you can have. So the first step is you being able to identify, man, I can get this. I can have that. I tell people all the time, people, especially I say a lot of people, they have a desire to change careers and they get discouraged. I'm like, I just don't know if I can do it. I say, go on LinkedIn, type in the job you want, like the actual name of the job, right? And hit people. And it's going to show you just the people on LinkedIn, just the people on LinkedIn alone. How many people hold that job title? When you look at the top and those search results tell you just on LinkedIn, not even other people who don't even have a page on LinkedIn, just on LinkedIn, when it tells you 2.3 million people have this job title and you still don't believe that you can have it too? You mean to tell me that you think that 2.3 million people are better than you? Child, you can think that. I don't think that about myself. If we was in a little small group and it was like, okay, 2 people had this job title. Okay. Ooh. But you mean to tell me 2.3 million people got this job title? And you mean to tell me that you don't think you can? Mm-mm. No, ma'am. No, sir. Oh, no. Something's wrong here. No. But that is something that you have told yourself that, right? And now you live your life based upon that. In your mind, right? You live your life based upon the beliefs that you have about yourself. A lot of times the results that we have in our lives is based upon the beliefs that we have about ourselves. It's not that people don't like you. We want to say things like, things for me have always been hard. No, you have the life that you have based upon the beliefs that you have about yourself. But the powerful and the amazing thing about a belief, you can change it in a moment. It doesn't take a lot to change your belief about yourself. It takes an action of you saying, I'm not going to think this way. I'm going to think this way. Even when those old feelings, because they do come back, they try to ease their little ugly head. You can say, even when these old feelings come back, I will stand on the belief of this and not that. And watch how differently you move when you change the belief about yourself. Like, folks will have to calm you down. You can be like, I don't need nobody to applaud me or to tell me I'm doing a good job, or you're going to be like, because you are now able to ride off your belief alone. But that's only when you have strong beliefs. That's only when you have good beliefs, right? But when you don't have strong beliefs and you always think only the bad things about yourself, now you ride on the beliefs of other people too. You are easily influenced. You could have went and just prayed about something and God could have showed you something amazing, but you would let what everybody else around you just come and snatch that away from you, because it's easier to ride on somebody else's belief than yours. Okay, Alicia, in the next year and a half, girl, 6 figures is all mine. It's all mine. Girl, girl, you doing too much. What? You gonna get what? You love being around energy suckers. You love being around people that don't halfway believe nothing, that don't have no goals, no expectations, that just are happy with the bare, just mediocre. And I don't mean it in a condescending way. What I mean is that when your dreams start to grow and your goals start to grow, it's even more important for you to be able to identify who is it that I need to really be around. And it's the thing, like, I own a business. I'm like one of the only people in my family who owns a business. When I first started my business, my family was like, girl, are you okay? You know, are you poor? You know, ask me if I have enough food to eat, but they didn't know within my first year and a half, I already had doubled everything. Right. But it's because they just could not see it. Right. And I didn't hold that against them even now. Like, I love my family. Right. And even with all my friends, I think I have like maybe 2 friends who own their own business, but their business is not something online. This whole online business is not new, but it's new to a lot of different people. So a lot of people they can't understand what it is that I do. For some people, that's just far-fetched. They just can't. So what I have to now, they are still my friends. I still hang out with them because I don't hang out with people only on the things they do. I don't do that. So they're still my friends, but I now know I need to go in, get me some more that do think like me, that are able to allow me to see what's possible. So I'm gonna ask you a question. The people that you hang around, do they allow you to see what's possible? Or are they always trying to pull you down into what's safe? Because that is what I had to learn from my family. Like, they love me. I know my family loves me. One time I owned a business, they'd be like, girl, you better go get a job. But they wanted the best for me. They really did. But for them, that was safe. Like, no. So a lot of times you may even have goals and dreams that are beyond what other people can see. And their response may be, girl, you're doing too much. A lot of times, you know, there are some times where folks can say stuff because there are other hidden emotions they have about you. But sometimes it's just that they love you and they think them saying that is a way just to keep you safe. But sometimes you have to say, I don't want to be safe. I want to be successful. And a lot of times the success that you want is beyond your comfort zone. It's not there, friend. It's not there. That safe mode is keeping you underpaid, right? That safe mode is having you feel stuck. Because sometimes that feeling of stuck is from you knowing you want more and you wanting to stay in your comfort zone. So you start to feel a pull there. And so the word that comes out is stuck. I mean, you stuck because you don't want to make the change or take the action that it's going to take to get you to where you want to be. That's why you feel stuck, because you're stuck between, should I go towards what I want or should I stay with the things that I know? Now that's a word for somebody. Should I move towards what I want or should I stay with what I know? But sometimes the thing that you know no longer serves you. Sometimes the things that you know, they don't meet the expectation anymore. So now you're going to find yourself at a fork in the road if you decide, should I take the leap? Should I take the risk? Should I move towards what I know that I want, even though I can't really see it all, but I know that I want it. I know that it's for me. Or should I go back to what I know? And always have to wonder in the back of my mind, what if? What if I would have took that chance on myself? What if I would have actually betted on myself? What if I would have believed in myself like I can believe it for everybody else? What if I can believe for myself like I believe in everybody else? Because you know, you would cheer your friend on in a minute. Say, girl, you can do that, girl. Go, girl. But for you, you can't get no energy to push yourself forward. For you, it seems far away. For you, it seems it's just too hard. But for everybody else, you can see it for everybody else except yourself. So now it's time to make a decision, right? Are you going to go all in on you? And all it takes is a decision that I am going to do this. I'm going to move away from what feels safe. And that's the thing. The only reason why something feels safe is because you stay there for a while. But you also got to know, as you move towards something that's new, and once you start to get around the things that you want and be exposed to the things that you want, that's going to feel safe too. Right. And so even my own self, and I'll always use relationships as an example because that's just something everybody gets. The Lord saved me when I was 21 years old. I'm going to be 37 on June the 18th. Right. Me and my husband got married almost 10 years ago. But before that, I was single for like almost 8 years. I didn't date, did not do single, almost 8 years. Just me and the Lord, just me. Wasn't dating, I didn't entertain nobody on the phone. Almost 8 years, it was just me, right? Because I got to a point now, granted, I was 21, so I was what we consider young, right? But I had really been through a lot with relationships and things of that sort, which is a whole new live stream child. So, but because I had been through so much, like I was like, I don't, like even after God had saved me, I was like, I'm cool. Like, because when I was single, I wasn't one of those people that was single and that was like, oh, a man need a man. Like, I really became I was cool. Like if there was a time for me to know who I was and to learn who I was and to fall in love with the Lord. So I wasn't one of those people that was single and was just like, oh, a man, I need a man. It was cool, right? But even the idea of marriage, I was like, I just don't know if sometimes the thought of it would just make me itch. Because for one, you know, in my family, we don't have a lot of marriages that are successful. We just don't. Like, there's no woman besides maybe my grandmother who was married. All the other women they weren't married, but they're not anymore. So I didn't really have a lot of good examples of marriage, things of that sort. But how many know when the Lord sent my husband to me, changed everything, right? I was now being able to be exposed to what it felt like to actually have somebody there that was right? Who wasn't doing all kind of foolishness, right? Who knew how to love me the right way, right? And so, but now my whole mindset about things have changed. And I'm using this example because even in your career, you can start to feel like that. You be like, child, you can find yourself having had so many experiences with these jobs, right? You've been through some stuff. And so now the hope of having a good career seems far-fetched from you. You're like, girl, they all the same, right? And so you can find yourself having the same expectation. But that's just because, for one, you always did the things that you did to get a man, which is why you kept on ending up with the same kind of man. And you didn't do anything differently to attract a different man. So that's why you always ended up with the same kind of man. Friend, this is in love, okay? Right? Even for myself, right? When I took the time to get me right, to really allow God to have me freed of some things and to change my heart and to change the way that I saw things. And I had my time with Jesus and I had a relationship with the Lord and I was different. So now I had different expectations. Now what attracted me to somebody in the beginning, that didn't mean nothing, right? Because I had to change mine. Now when it comes to your career, you got to be the same way. If you always go into these jobs the same way, you always go through the job interview process lying, knowing you feel all the red flags, the Lord telling you this ain't the job, but you're like, no, this is the job, and you still be showing up to your jobs the same kind of way, and you're getting the same kind of attitudes, and you're still not speaking up, you're going to end up with the same result in every job you go to. But what has to happen is you got to do something different to attract something different. In all your other jobs, you was never clear on what you wanted. And all your other jobs, you just kind of took what was there. You never really went after the thing that you want. You just always took the thing that was there. Now do something different. Now get clear on what it is that you want. Now get clear on what is that next step for you. Now get clear on the impact that you want to make with your skills. Now get clear on where do you want to take your career? How far? How much money do you want to make? Don't just tell me that you want to make more money. Let me know how much money you want to make. Because it's one thing to say that I want to make $90,000 a year. Another thing to tell me that you want to make $150,000 a year. There's two different kinds of positioning. That's two different ways to talk about your skill set. There's two different. It could be the same problem, but that problem could be solved in a much other way. Let me know if this is hitting home for y'all. You got to be able to do something different to get a different result. If you say, Alicia, I've always just been underpaid, I've always just been overlooked. Okay, let's do something different. And a lot of that's going to take you being able to shift that employee mindset to an asset. You understanding I'm not just an asset for BB&B company. I'm an asset everywhere I go. And if you don't realize that I am the asset here for you, I will go somewhere else where they will. And this is the power of having that asset mindset. This is where the power is. Knowing that you can take your expertise and your skills wherever you want to go. Knowing that you can take your that expertise and your skills, you can build your own dream. That's all that I did, y'all. I took my expertise over the last 10 years of having to hire people, having to source people, having to hire for jobs, knowing what are those high demand skills, knowing how to make somebody qualified. And then after that, I was having to help employees grow and things of that sort. So they're able to be successful in their role. All I did was took that experience and made it my own dream. You can do the same thing for yourself. Sky is the limit. We are literally living in an age, you could be anything you want to be. You can be anything you want to be. Anything. I was watching a video and it was some girl. I think she raps or something. I don't know any rappers. You know me, church music and worship gospel. That's all I listen to. But I was watching this interesting video, and there's this site, OnlyFans. Now, don't want to get into that, but this girl ended up making $50 million a year on OnlyFans. just dancing in her drawers, which, child, none of my business. Now, here is somebody, and this is not to bash her, I'm making a point. Though I don't agree with, I'm making a point. She just danced her way to $50 million a year. But all she did was really lean in, and I'm saying I do not agree with that, but all she did was really lean in on what she knew how to do. And she just went all in with it. So just think about yourself. And I want to use that example because I want to show you somebody that has a real skill set, a skill set that companies want, that people need. And I want to be able to show you the opportunities that you could build for yourself. And people don't even think this, but this is the thing. The reason why I was able to build something on my own. Now, let me tell you, when I started off, I was scared. Okay. You guys see me now, I'm all, but I was shaking in my boots, right? I had to build up that belief in myself, which came through taking action, right? And the more action I saw, the more results I got. And the more results I got, the more I started to believe even the more in myself, right? So, but yes, I started off scared, but all I did was I just leaned on the expertise. I leaned on the problem that I knew how to solve, which was I know how to help people land a job, right? Because I've hired thousands of people. I know how to help somebody grow in their role to succeed because that's what I did in my job. So I want you to even be able to expand your own mind and with your own expertise. And I want you to be able to think what is possible. Now this is not a push to have you go and start your full-time business because everybody don't want to do that. Cool. This is stressful. Okay. And that's cool. But what I'm saying is that when you know the problems that you can solve with your skill set and you know the impact that you desire to make, the money is there, the success is there, but it really all boils down to believing, to you knowing and believing that it's for you. So if you do want to work with me one-to-one, I have 2 ways for you to do that. First way, the best you. This is probably like mine wasn't my favorite, but I love this way because it's me being able to serve on a level to where I can really be able to make the impact, right? Because you are able to work with me one-to-one as well. But I've been able to switch over to just this way because it allows me to be able to serve in a way that I desire to serve in. So if you are one that you are wanting to advance in the role that you're in, if you wanted to make more money, if you want to know how to be able to show up in your expertise the way that you desire to, go to thebestyou.me and find out more on how you are able to sign up for that. That is thebestyou.me. But you can also work with me one-to-one as well. And so my website is IamAliciaPerkins.com. You can go to my website and find out more information as well. And also, if you want to know which one is the best fit for you, my main channel is LinkedIn. So if you are on there, hit me up on LinkedIn, but I'm on TikTok too. And so if you have any questions with how you can work together to advance you in your career, go ahead and contact me. Okay. So the best you with that program, I have changed the structure just a little bit with the best you. That program is 6 months. It is bi-weekly calls with me. It's not just for leadership folk. I believe that if you are in a lead role or if you want to advance in a lead role, this will help you a lot. But it definitely is for somebody who is just wanting to know how to plan a career path that is going to allow them to live the life that they want to live. It's also going to show you how to be able to make strategic steps in your career. It's also going to show you how to be able to draw higher paying opportunities as well. So, and then I'll say this, with this group, I had 2 people who actually got their job to pay for it. Because again, it's not just about a job search. It's really just development. And so if you want to see if your job will invest in this for you, you let me know because I have a form and everything for you. And so let me know. If you do want to find out more information about my group service, go to thebestyou.me to find out more information. That is thebestyou.me. And then if you want to join my tribe, go ahead and go to careert.me and get exclusive content for me sent to you every week. And I do have a podcast. So my podcast is called Career Revamp, y'all. New episodes every Thursday. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to Career Revamp. I enjoyed our live stream, guys, and I will be back to talk with you guys next week. Bye.